the hard goods.
Cash for the soft goods. Cash for the fancy goods.
Cash for the noggins and the piggins and the frickins.
Cash for the hogshead, cask and demijohn. Cash for the crackers and the pickles and the fly paper.
What do you talk? 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 What do you talk?
You can talk, you can talk. You can bicker, you can talk. You can bicker, bicker, bicker. You can talk, you can talk. You can talk, 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 talk. Bicker, bicker, bicker. You can talk all you want, but it's different than it was.
No, it ain't. No, it ain't. But you gotta know the territory.
What the Monty for made the trouble, made the people want to go, want to get up and go. 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 14, 22, 23 miles to the country seat.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Who wants a patron as a little bitty 2x4 kind of store anymore?
What do you talk? What do you talk?
Where do you get it? Not the Model T at all. Take a gander at the store, at the modern store, at the present day store, at the present day modern departmental light cookery store.
What do you talk? What do you talk? What do you talk? What do you talk? What do you talk?
Where do you get it?
What do you talk? What do you talk? What do you talk?
Where do you get it?
You can talk, you can bicker. You can talk, you can bicker. You can talk, 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 talk. Bicker, bicker, bicker. You can talk all you want, but it's different than it was.
No, it ain't. But you gotta know the territory.
Why, it's the you need a biscuit, made the trouble. You need to put the crackers in the package in the package. You need a biscuit in the airtight sanitary package, made the cracker barrel obsolete.
Obsolete.
Cracker Barrel went out the window with the mail cow type plug drawn by the stove. Changed the approach to the traveling salesman, made it pretty hard.
No, it didn't. But you gotta know the territory.
Gone.
Gone with the hogshead, cask, and demijohn. Gone with the sugar barrel, pickle barrel, milk can. Gone with the tub and the pail and the tears.
Ever meet a fellow by the name of Hill?
Hill?
Hill? No! Just a minute.
Never heard of any salesman Hill.
Now, he doesn't know the territory.
Doesn't know the territory.
What's the fellow's line?
Never worries about his line.
Never worries about his
On
line.
the Cracker Barrel being obsolete, on the you need a biscuit and an airtight sanitary package on the Model T Ford. Just a minute. Never worries about his line.
Never worries about his line.
Every doggone thing. He's just a bang beat, bell ringing, big hog, great go, neck and nut, rip roaring, advertising bullseye salesman. That's what Hill.
Tell us, what's his line? What's his line?
He's a fake and he doesn't know the territory.
Look, what do you talk? What do you talk? What do you talk? What do you talk?
He's a music man.
He's a what? The what?
He's a music man, and he sells clarinets and the kids in the town, the big trombones, the rat-a-tat drums, big brass bass, and the piccolo, you know, of course, too, with the shiny gold braid on the cup and the big red stripe.
Well, I don't know much about bands, but I do know you can't make a living selling big trombones. No, sir. Madeline picks perhaps here and there a juice harp.
No, the fellow sells bands, boys bands. I don't know how he does it, but he lives like a king. He does, and he gathers his bucks and shines, and when the man dances, certainly, boys, what else? The piper pays him. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. When the man dances, certainly, boys, what else? The piper pays him. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. But he doesn't know the territory.
River City. River City, just past the state line into Iowa. Population 2,212. Cigarettes illegal in this state. All aboard.
Now, if you're all through, I'll tell you about Professor Harold Hill. You really know Harold Hill? Never seen him in my life. But I can tell you this. He's given each one of us a black guy. As soon as he's worked the town over, the next salesman to enter is automatically tarred and feathered and rode out on a rail to the city limits. You think it's funny, do ya? Yeah. Well, wait till it happens to you. Your hair'll never grow back.
Why should he be rode out on a rail?
Because in order to sell band instruments and uniforms and instruction booklets, he's got to promise to teach them kids how to play. And form them into a band. With him as the leader.
What's wrong with that?
He don't know one note from another. That's what's wrong with that. He doesn't know the difference between a bass drum and a pipe organ. And one day, I'll catch up with that swindling, two big thimble rigger. Yeah, and when I do, I'm gonna squeal. So loud.
Wow, Charlie, you're mad. I'd just like to be around when you catch up to that guy.
Won't be on this trip. Not in Iowa. Not even the great Professor Harold Hill would try to sell to them neck boat Hawkeyes out here.
All aboard.
Gentlemen, you intrigue me. I think I'll have to give Iowa a try.
I don't believe I caught your name.
Harold Hill.
all day.
And there I was in the Madison County Hospital, and nobody come to see me. Cousin Will never come, Aunt Bertha never come. Honey, your Aunt Bertha's dead. She wouldn't have come anyway.
We can be cold as appalling thermometers in December if you ask about our weather in July. And we're so bygone stubborn we can stand touching noses for a week at a time and never see eye to eye. But we'll give you our shirt and a bag to go with it. If your bra should happen to die.
But what the heck? You're welcome. Glad to have you with us. Even though we may not ever mention it again.
You really ought to give Iowa, Iowa, Dubuque, Des Moines, Davenport, Marshalltown, Mason City, Keokuk, Hayes, Clearlake. Ought to give Iowa a try.
Sir? Sir? I'm interested in a rig for Sunday, if you could accommodate me.
Well, then I expect you ought to see the man in charge of a hiring rigs, who is late, as usual.
Hey, Gregory!
Marcellus? Humana, humana, ha! Humana, humana, ha! Humana, humana, ha! Humana, 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 ha!
You old son of a gun! What are you doing here? But Greg,
Professor Hill is the name. Harold Hill.
Greg, what are you doing here? Why didn't you let me know you was coming?
I didn't know I was myself. Besides, how can I know you'd end up in a little tank town like this? You were a pretty big slicker when you were in business with me.
Too many close shaves the way you work. Besides, I got me a nice, comfortable girl. Ethel Toppelmeyer, boss's niece.
Oh, gone legitimate, huh? I knew you'd come to no good.
So what's the new pitch? Oh, no, Greg, you're not back in the band business, are you? I heard you was in Steam Automobile.
I was.
What happened?
Somebody actually invented one.
No.
Now give me the lowdown here, Moss.
You'll never get anywhere in the band business with these stubborn Iowans, Greg. Besides, we got a music teacher here who'll expose you before you get your grip unpacked.
Male or female?
Music teacher? He's librarian. Female.
Perfect. That's exactly what I wanted to hear. If she passes by, point her out to me.
I will. How you gonna start the pitch?
Same old way. Keep that music teacher off balance. And then my next step is to get your town out of the serious trouble that it's in.
River City isn't in any trouble.
Then I'll have to create some. I have to create a desperate need for a boys' band. You remember? Now, what's new around here? What can I use?
Nothing. Except the billiard parlor just got a new pool table.
They've never seen a pool table before?
No, only billiards.
Perfect. That'll do, Mars. See you later. Oh, and don't forget, music teacher.
Music teacher.
Are you Mr. Dunlop?
Yes.
Either you are closing your eyes to a situation you do not wish to acknowledge, or you are not aware of the caliber of disaster indicated by the presence of a pool table in your community. Well, you got trouble, my friends. Right here, say trouble right here in River City. Why, sure, I'm a beer player, certainly. Mighty proud to say, I'm always mighty proud to say it. I consider that the hours I spend with a cue in my hand are golden. Hope you cultivate horse sense and a cool head and a keen eye. Did you ever take a try and give an ironclad leave to yourself from a 3-rail billiard shot? But just as I say it takes judgment, brains, and maturity to score in a buck-like game, I say that any fool can take and shove a ball in a pocket. And I call that song the first big step on the road to depths of degradé. I say first, medicinal wine from a teaspoon, and then beer from a bottle. And the next thing you know, your son is playing for money in a pinchback suit and listening to some big out-of-town Jasper here to tell them about horse race gambling. Not a wholesome trot race, no, but a race where they sit down right on the horse. And see some stuck-up jockey boy sitting on Dan Patch, make your blood boil, well, I should say. Now, friends, let me tell you what I mean. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pockets on the table. Pockets that mark the difference between a gentleman and a bum with a capital P that rhymes with P that stands for fool. And all week long, your university will be frittering away. Say your young man will be frittering away there noontime, supper time, chore time, too. Hit the ball in the pocket. Never mind getting the dandelions pulled to a screen door patch to the beefsteak pounded. Never mind fetching a wire to your parents, a cot with a cistern empty on a Saturday night, and that's trouble. Oh, yes, you got lots and lots of trouble. I'm thinking of the kids in the Knickerbocker, sure tell young ones, peeking in that pool hall window after school, you got trouble. Folks right here in River City. Trouble with the capital T, and that rhymes with P, that stands for fool. Now, I know all you folks with the right kind of parents. I'm gonna be perfectly frank. Would you like to know what kind of conversation goes on while they're loafing around that hall? They've been trying out Bebo, trying out Cubebs, trying out tailor-mades like cigarette beans, and bragging all about how they're gonna cover up the telltale breath with sense and right now. They'll leave that pool hall, head for the dance in the armory, libertine men, scarlet women, and ragtime, shameless music that'll grab your son, your daughter, in the arms of a jungle, animal instinct, mass hysteria. Frenzy, idle brain is the devil's playground trouble.
Oh, we got trouble.
Right here in River City.
Right here in River City.
With a capital T that rhymes with P that stands for fool.
That stands for fool.
We surely got trouble.
We surely got trouble.
Right here in River City.
Right here.
Gotta figure out a way to keep the young ones moral after school.
My children's gonna have trouble.
Mothers of River City, heed that warning before it's too late. Watch for the telltale signs of corruption. The minute your son leaves the house, does he rebuckle his knickerbockers below the knee? Their nicotine stain on his index finger, a dime novel hidden in the corn crib. Is he starting to memorize jokes from Captain Billy's whiz-bang?
Trouble.
Are certain words creeping into his conversation? Words like swell.
Trouble.
And so's your old man.
Trouble.
Well, if so, my friends, you got trouble.
Oh, we got trouble.
Right here in River City.
Right here in River City.
With a capital T that rhymes with P and that stands for pool.
That stands for fool.
We surely got trouble.
We surely got trouble.
Right here in River City.
Right here.
Remember the Maine, Plymouth Rock, and the Golden Pool.
My children's gonna have trouble.
Oh, we're in trouble. We're in terrible, terrible trouble. That game with the 15 numbers falls into the devil's pool.
Devil's pool.
Yes, we got trouble, trouble, trouble.
Oh, yes, we got trouble here. We got big, big trouble.
With a T.
Capital T.
Come along with me.
That's T.
That stands for pool.
That stands for oh, we got trouble, trouble, trouble. Right here in River City with a capital T that rhymes with P that stands for fool. Stands for fool. We surely got trouble, trouble. Right here in River City. Right here. Gonna figure out a way to get the young one moral after school.
Did you drop your...
No.
Didn't I meet you in...
No.
I'll only be in town a short while.
I'll be there in a minute. Hello, Mama. Fine, dear. Now your exercises.
Yes, Mom. I don't remember the library being open last 4th of July.
It was, Mama, all evening. Mama, a man with a suitcase has been following me all over town.
Oh? Who?
Well, I never saw him before.
Did he say anything?
He tried.
Did you say anything?
Mama, of course not. Now, don't dawdle, Amaryllis. La-re-ti me a little slower, and please keep the fingers curved as nice and high as you possibly can. Don't get faster, dear.
If you don't mind my saying so, it wouldn't have hurt to find out what the gentleman wanted.
I know what the gentleman wanted.
Oh, what?
You'll find it in Balzac.
Well, excuse me for living, but I never read it.
Neither has anyone else in this town.
There you go again with that same old comment about the low mentality of river city people and taking it all too much to heart.
No, Mama. As long as the Madison Public Library was entrusted to me for the purpose of improving River City's cultural level, I can't help my concerns that the ladies of River City keep ignoring all my counsel and advice.
But darling, when a woman has a husband and you've got none, why should she take advice from you? Even if you can quote Balzac and Shakespeare and all the other highfalutin Greeks.
Mama, if you don't mind me saying so, you have a bad habit of changing every subject.
No, I haven't changed the subject. I was talking about that stranger.
What stranger?
With the suitcase who may be your very last chance.
Mama, do you think that I'd allow a common masher? Now, really, Mama, I have my standards where men are concerned, and I have no intention.
I know all about your standards, and if you don't mind me saying so, there's not a man alive who could hope to measure up to that blended Paul Bunyan, St. Pat and Noah Webster. You concocted for yourself out of your Irish imagination. You know I was stubbornness in your library full of books.
Well, that is the best I've ever heard.
Thank you. Can I have a drink now, please?
May I have a
May I have a drink now, please?
Yes, dear.
Winthrop, it's after dark.
Hello.
Is that a way to walk into the house? I'll have a kiss from a boy. And that lady over there is your sister, young man.
Hello, Winthrop. Hello. I'm having a party on Saturday. I'd like it especially much if you came. Would you please come, Winthrop?
Winthrop, Amaryllis asked you to her party. Are you going or aren't you?
No.
No what?
No, thank you.
You know the little girl's name.
He won't say Amaryllis because of the S, because of his lisp. He's ashamed.
We know all about his lisp, Amaryllis. Well, Winthrop.
No, thank you, Amaryllis. He's crying. Why does he get so mad at people? Because he lisps?
It's not just because he lisps, Amaryllis. That's only part of it.
What's the other part?
Never mind, dear. It's just that he never talks very much.
Not even to you and your mother?
No. We all have to be a little patient.
Well, I'm patient. I talk to him even though he doesn't talk to me. I say goodnight to him every night on the Evening Star. You have to say it the very second you see it or else it doesn't count. Good night, my Winthrop. Good night. Sleep tight. Oh.
Well, there, darling. Don't cry. You have plenty of time. If not Winthrop, there will be someone else.
Never. I'll end up an old maid like you. I'm sorry, Miss Marian. Can I play my crosshand piece now?
May I play my cross?
May I play my crosshand piece now?
You may.
See, without a sweetheart, there's no one to say goodnight to on the Evening Star.
I know, Amaryllis. For the time being, just say goodnight, my someone. You can put the name in when the right someone comes along.
All right, it's better than nothing.
Yes, it is. Now you can play your crosshand piece.
Now I may play my crosshand piece.
gymnasium account the weather. For school. For school. The members of the school board will now present a patriotic tableau. The members of the school board will not present a patriotic tableau. Some disagreement about costumes, I suppose. Instead, the Watanyi tribe of the local wigwam of Hiawatha will now present a spectacle, my wife. In which my wife, Eulalie McKechnie Shin, will take a leading part. Okay. take place, provided the rain stops by 9:30. It'll be at the Mansion Picnic Park in the Far Meadow, across the creek from the pasture.
How can it be raining? Did the Gazette predict fair?
Sure did, that's why we all prepared for a storm.
The Gazette is accurate most of the time, and you know it, JC.
You wouldn't last very long in the banking business being accurate most of the time. Number 8's late again.
I make her early.
She's late, all right.
She's right on time. Smash your watch.
To yours!
All in the world I said was...
Never mind, you're my for school.
We heard there's a pool table in town.
Now, just a minute.
Pool table, isn't it?
Will you allow me to get on with the exercises?
We don't want to have any more exercises until we get this pool table matter settled.
Let's protect our children. Resist sin and corruption. Fight that devil and keep our young boys pure. Friends, may I have your attention, please? Attention, please. I can deal with the trouble, friends, with the wave of my hand, this very hand. Please observe me, if you will. I'm Professor Harold Hill, and I'm here to organize the River Sea Youth Band. Well, Well, think, my friends, how can any pool table ever hope to compete with a gold trombone? Remember, my friends, what a handful of trumpet players did to the famous fabled walls of Jericho? Oh, billiard parlor walls come tumbling down. Well, a band will do it, my friends. Oh, yes, a boys' band. Do you hear me? I say Riverside's got to have a band, and I mean she needs it today. Well, Professor Harold Hill is on hand. Riverside's going to have a band. As sure as the Lord made them little green apples, ooh, and that band's going to be in uniform, too. Johnny, Willie, Teddy, Fred, and you'll hear the glimmer of crashing cymbals, and the thunder of rolling drums, and the shimmer of trumpets. Da-da-da! And you'll feel something akin to the electric thrill I once enjoyed when Gilmore, Pat Conway, the great Creator, W.C. Handy, and John Philip Sousa all came to town on the very same historic day. 76 trombones led the big parade with 110 cornets close at hand. They were followed by rows and rows of the finest virtuosos, the cream of every famous band. 76 trombones on the morning sun with 110 cornets right behind. There were more than 1,000 reeds springing up like weeds. There were horns of every shape and kind. There were copperbot, timpani, and horse spittoons, thundering, thundering all along the way. Double-bell euphoniums and big bassoons, each bassoon having his big fat say. There were 50 mounted cannon in the battery, thundering, thundering louder than before. Clarinets of every size and trumpeters who'd improvise a full octave higher than the score.
Men, this calls for emergency action. I haven't seen Iowa people so excited since the day Strangler Lewis and Frank Gotch lay on a mat for 3.5 hours without moving a muscle. Never mind. I want that spellbinder's credentials. Well, that he almost blew Mrs. Shit. Thank you, Professor. Gotta make an example of the boy. Ringleader, you know. What he does, the gang does.
You wild kid, Jeff. Gee, Clyde, let me go.
His father is one of the day laborers from south of town.
You wild kid, Jeff.
Tagging down Main Street after my oldest girl last Sunday.
I want to be the tagging.
Don't you contradict me.
We're just walking together. Gee, Clyde.
Oh, you watch your phraseology. I know what you's doing. My little Gracie, senior. And I'm gonna warn you one more time. You keep your hands off my oldest girl, or you'll hear from me. Tell who laid the rails. And you. Well, I'll talk to you first thing Monday morning about this bad thing. Over at City Hall, 10 o'clock sharp. Men, I want that spellbinder's credentials.
Oh, Constable, I'll be responsible for the boy.
You don't know this kid. Probably got his gang ready.
Oh, I'll be careful. Tommy, I'd like to talk to you about the band.
Oh, gee, Professor, That's for the little kids.
Oh, I'm not talking about you playing in the band. You're mechanically minded, aren't you? Ever do anything with the perpetual motion?
Nearly had a couple times.
You did? You were my man. Do you realize nobody has ever invented a music holder for the marching piccolo player? There's no place to hold the music.
Gee, Clyde, I wonder where I could get some wire from.
Look in your cellar. That's where people keep wire. Oh, Tommy. Now, Constable, I'll show you how to break up a gang. Young lady. Miss. What's your name?
Anita? I had no idea you was beckoning to me. God!
Do you know Tommy Gillis?
Well,
Tommy, this is Anita. Escort the young lady home.
only expecting I'm not going home. I still have to go to the library. Ye God!
Then escort the young lady home. By way of the library. By way of the candy kitchen.
Oh, gee, Professor, do I have to?
Oh, you have to.
You're a smart man, Professor. You've made a couple mistakes, though.
Oh?
Well, the mayor happens to own that billiard parlor and the pool table.
Oh, what was my other mistake?
That's Anita. The mayor's oldest girl.
Just a minute, Mr. Hill.
Yes?
We'd like to have your credentials. We are the school board.
Academic certificates, I believe.
Nothing of the kind.
We need letters and papers.
Make him put up a bond.
Wait. What am I hearing? Say. Ice cream.
Ice cream.
Talk. Down here.
Ice cream.
Talk
Ice cream.
You see, singing is only sustained talking. Now you, sir.
Ice cream.
Now you, sir.
Ice cream.
Now you, sir.
Ice cream. Ice cream. Ice cream.
Ladies, from now on, you'll never see one of those men without the other three.
Oh, Professor, you're wrong. Why, they've hated each other for 15 years.
How can there be
Any
Sin insincere. Where is the good in goodbye? In goodbye. Your apprehensions confuse me, dear. Puzzle and mystify. Mystify, tell me what can be fair in farewell, dear. While one single star shines above, how can there be any sin insincere? Aren't we sincerely in love? Oh, we're in love.
I don't suppose you live alone or anything.
No.
I have some wonderful caramels over at the hotel if you'd like to.
Mr. Hill.
Professor Hill.
Professor of what? At what college do they give a degree for annoying women on the streets like a Saturday night rowdy in a public dance hall?
Oh, I wouldn't know about that. I'm a conservatory man myself. Gary, Indiana. Gold medal class of Art 5.
Even should that happen to be true, does that give you any reason to follow me around wherever I go? And another thing, Mr. Hill, I'm not as easily mesmerized or hoodwinked as some people in this town, and I think it's only fair to warn you that I have a shelf full of reference books in my library, which may very well give me some interesting information about you.
Hey, Gregory,
Oh, hi, Marcellus, and don't call me Gregory.
How'd you make out with the music teacher?
Scrumptious. Ate out of my hand the minute I tipped my hat.
She did? Boy, you sure cut a swath tonight. For a minute there, even I thought she knew something about leading them bands. Just like when you used to imitate that band concert guy back in Joplin.
Yeah. Oh, that's kid stuff. I'm in rare form these days, son. Just you keep your eyes on me the next 4 weeks.
4 weeks? It only used to take 10 days for the instruments to arrive.
Still does. Takes 4 weeks for the uniforms to arrive.
Oh, no, Greg, you haven't added uniforms.
And instruction booklets.
Instruction booklets? But, Greg, you can't pass yourself off as a music professor. Not for no 4 weeks, anyways.
Mars.
But you don't know one note from another.
Mars, I have a revolutionary new method called the think system. You don't bother with notes.
But in 4 weeks, the people are going to want to hear the music. You'll have to lead the band.
Yeah, but when the uniforms arrive, they forget about everything else. At least long enough for me to collect and leave. This is a refined operation, son, and I've got it timed right down to the last wave of the brakeman's hand on the last train out of town. Now, if you'll excuse me, Mr. Washington.
Oh, gonna set up a little late-night cahoodling, huh?
Well...
Say, I could set you up with Ethel's sister. Lovely girl, teaches Sunday school.
No wide-eyed, eager, wholesome, innocent Sunday school teacher for me. That kind of girl spins webs no spider ever. Now listen, boy. A girl who trades on all that purity merely wants to trade my independence for her security. The only affirmative she will file refers to marching down the aisle, no golden, glorious, gleaming, pristine goddess. No, sir, for no Diana do I play pawn. I can tell you that right now. I snarl, I hiss, how can ignorance be compared to bliss? I spark, I fizz, for the lady who knows what time it is. I cheat, I rave, for the virtue I'm too late to say. The sad but wise a girl for me. No bright-eyed, blushing, breathless baby doll baby. No, sir, that kind of child ties knots no sailor ever knew. I prefer to take a chance on a more adult romance. No, to a young miss who keeps resisting. All the time she keeps insisting. No wide-eyed, wholesome, innocent female. No, sir, why she's the fisherman, I'm the fish you see. Well, I flinch, I shy, when the lass with the delicate air goes by. I smile, I grin, when the gal with the touch of sin walks in. I hope and I pray for Hester to win just one more A. The sadder but wiser girl's the girl for me. The sadder but wiser girl for me. Mrs. Shin, I understand. But you see, part of my music plans include a committee on the dance. And... Oh, no, wait. Do that again, Mrs. Shin.
I have a bunion there.
Oh, what grace! What natural flow of rhythm. What expression of line and movement. Oh! Oh, you must accept the chairmanship for the ladies' committee of the auxiliary dance, mustn't she, ladies? Every move you make, Mrs. Shin, bespeaks del side. Will you say yes, Mrs. Shin?
You lady McKechnie Shin. Dancing, yes!
Then you accept.
Yes, and I would like to say.
Thank you. Now, the young lady who plays the piano, Miss Marian Peru, I believe. After all, she is the librarian.
Pick a little, talk a little, pick a little, talk a little.
Miser Madison, Madison Picnic Park, Madison Gymnasium, Madison Hospital? That Miser Madison?
Exactly. Who does he think it was anyway?
Well, I should say, show off. Gave the town the library, too, didn't he?
That's just it. When he died, he gave the town the library building, but he left all the books to her. That's right. She was seen going and coming from his legs. Oh, yes, that woman made brains, no turkey dinner, with the children's hair and she had a golden slip in her eye and a silver voice and a cup champagne. Just to melt her down and give her a meal, I'll take 2 letters from all the state. Here, you want to march.
River City, the library building, but he left all the books to her.
Chaucer! Really? Mars! Just a minute here. Waiting for credentials.
Ah, yes. Schoolboy, I have just what you need in my hotel room. Take me a minute. Good night, ladies. Good night, ladies. Good night, ladies. Good night, ladies. We're going to leave you now. Farewell, ladies. Farewell, ladies. Farewell, ladies. We're going to leave you now.
What are you talking about?
Oh, you were probably very young. Anyone can make a mistake.
What?
No apologies. No explanations. I'll only be in town a short while and be a sadder but wiser girl for me.
Will you please make your selection and leave?
I have.
Well, what do you want to take out?
The librarian.
Quiet, please.
The librarian. Not listening, Marian. Marbles. 6 steelies, 8 aggies, a dozen peas, and 1 big glassy with an American flag in the middle. I think I'll drop it.
No!
Madam Librarian. What can I do? My dear, take catch your in. I love you madly, madly, Madam Librarian. Marian, heaven help us if the library caught on fire and the volunteer host brigade men had to whisper the news to Marian. Madam Librarian, what can I do, my dear, to catch your ear? I need you badly, badly, Madam Librarian. Marian, if I stumble and I busted my whatchamacallit, I can find your floor unnoticed till my body had turned to carrion. Madam Librarian. Now in the moonlight, a man could sing it. In the moonlight. And a fellow would know that his darling had heard every word of his song. In the moonlight, helping along. But when I try in here to tell you, dear, I love you madly, madly, Madam Librarian. Marian, it's a long lost cause I can never win. For the civilized world accepts as unforgivable sin any talking out loud with any librarian, such as Marian. Madam Librarian. Marshmallow? Well, Tommy, I'd say we've had a pretty good day. 11 sales out of 12. Tell you what, it's almost noon. Why don't you go home and get yourself some supper?
Goodbye, Professor.
Thanks, Tommy.
Just a minute. Are you soliciting?
Why, no, Mr. Mayor,
Why haven't you been down to City Hall yet with your references?
Well, I just missed you. Mr. Mayor, your hand! Oh, no!
What?
That spread of the little finger. It's hereditary.
Oh, it is. What does that mean?
It means that your son's little finger is perfectly situated to operate the spit valve on a B-flat flugelhorn.
Is that good?
Good? It means that America has finally produced an artist who can flugel the minute waltz in 50 seconds.
How can I get one of those horns?
All you have to do is sign here. Okay.
Just think, I could have missed this whole... I haven't got any son! You unscrupulous flew-by-night, you unflugeless... You be down at City Hall with your by-God papers by 3 o'clock this afternoon.
You mean this afternoon?
I couldn't make myself any plainer if I's a Quaker on his day off.
Do you realize you have the facial characteristics of a cornet virtuoso?
Professor, I don't think I understand you entirely.
If your son has that same firm chin, those splendid cheek muscles, by George! Not that he could ever be really great, you understand, but...
Oh, is that so? And in the name of St. Bridget, why not?
Well, you see, all the really great cornet players were Irish. O'Clark, Menendez,
But
O'Connor.
Professor, we are Irish.
No. No, really, that clinches it. Sign here, Mrs. Peru. Your son was born to play the cornet. Oh, that'll be $7 earnest money. Nothing more due until the first installment payable at the beginning of band practice. Oh, thank you. And of course, I'll need the boy's measurements for his uniform.
His uniform?
Oh, yay!
Hello, son. Certainly his uniform, and there won't be a penny due until delivery, which gives him 4 weeks to enjoy, to anticipate, to imagine at no cost whatsoever. Never let the demands of tomorrow interfere with the pleasures and excitement of today.
Would it have
A stripe? Why, certainly, my boy. A wide stripe down the side. What do you think of that?
Professor, I do hope you'll excuse Winthrop. We can't get him to say 3 words a day, even to us. But if you can get him to play in the youth band, well, you'll have St. Michael's own way with ya. But if anyone can do it, I'll bet you can. Out of a crowd, I take you to be hard carrying, clay pipe smoking, shamrock wearing, harp playing, terrace hall minstrel singing man. Big gob and be jabbers. Where are you from, my boy?
Gary, Indiana.
I knew it. Where did you say?
Gary, Indiana? In fact, Gary Conservatory was my alma mater.
Was she now?
Why, yes. Gold medal class of '05. How do you do, Miss Peru?
How do you do, Mr. Hill?
Ah, Peru! I thought the name sounded familiar. I've tried to see you since the other night, but,
Marian, he wants to put Winthrop in the band.
We're not interested, Mama.
But Marian, he might have his father's musical gift. He does have my jaw, you know.
Oh, your husband musical? Oh, I'd like to have a talk with him. I'm sure
Do
we
you
can talk.
burst in on everyone's home like this? Prying into personal affairs? We're not interested.
Marian!
Well, that's 1 for and 1 against. Why not let the boy's father decide?
The boy's father is dead. Anything else?
Oh, Miss Marian, I'm sorry. But that's all the more reason why your brother should have something
My
like
brother
this.
is a problem child who can't understand why his father was taken away. Would you care to explain it to him? He's been brooding about it for 2 years. And as to your musical tricks, why don't you go into business with some nice carnival man who sells gold-painted watches and glass diamond rings?
Musical tricks? Well, Miss Peru, I hardly... I get the feeling she likes the idea. Oh, a little hesitant, perhaps, but I admire that in a woman. Just keep me alive, and I'll be back later in the week.
Oh, 1 moment, Professor. About the boy's measurements. I make all his clothes. Sleeve 21, waist 18, crouch 14.
All right. That's all I need. Now I must be getting back to the hotel.
Oh, Professor, about Marian. I do hope you'll excuse her. She's just...
Don't worry. I'm sure that at heart, she's as lovely as yourself. Good day to you, Widow Peru.
Good day.
Has he gone?
He has, and I hope not forever. Darling, don't you ever think about your future? Gary, Indiana, conservation of Aunt 5. Now, darling.
Now, Mama. Surely a girl's future doesn't depend on encouraging every fast-talking, self-centered, woman-chasing, traveling man that comes to town. And the fact that he claims his commodity is music does not, in this particular case, impress me.
All right, darling, all right. Only it is a well-known principle that if you keep the flint in one drawer and the steel in the other, there's never hope of striking up much of a fire.
Mama! Winthrop! Winthrop, I know you're there. Winthrop, please go down to the library. Ask Miss Grubbs to give you the book I set aside.
Oh.
It's the Indiana State Educational Journal, 1890 to 1910. It's a large brown volume with black corners.
Do I have to?
I've written it all down. You won't have to speak to anyone.
Oh.
Thank you, dear. Now, what are you up to? What do you need with a book at this hour of the night?
I have a feeling the Indiana Journal may help me poke some large holes in the professor's claims.
I give up. At your age, if you don't mind my asking, what kind of white knight do you expect to come riding along?
Well, I'm not waiting for Luther Brainer, who backs me into the ancient history shelf every time he comes into the library.
He does?
Or Ed Gammage, and that buggy of his with the removable back seat. But I'm not waiting for a knight in shining white armor either. My white knight, not a Lancelot, nor an angel with wings, just someone to love me, who is not ashamed of a few nice things. My white knight, what my heart would say if it
I need you after that. In the Black Hole of Calcutta, ye got!
I only want to show you my invention.
What invention?
A music holder for a marching piccolo player. It still has a couple flaws, see? Like, when you keep it tight enough to hold the music steady, you can't wiggle your fingers because it cuts off the circulation. Meanwhile, you could go blind.
Is that the first thing I said or no?
Yes, George.
The very first thing I said, or I'll eat hay with the horse. Never mind. Get that spellbinder's credentials, I said. Born on July 4th, 1912. And now look. My wife is off dancing at any hours instead of being in the home.
But George!
The school board is singing up street and down alley with no regard to city matters. My oldest girl is boodling around with that wild kid, and my business has fallen off so far that I can't find the balance sheet.
Mayor Shin, I found some very interesting information in this book about Professor Hill's alma mater.
His who?
His university.
I've heard all about that. In fact, that's the only thing I can get out of him. Gary Conservatory, class of the 5.
But if you'll just take time to read a little bit about the conservatory, I don't think you'll have to look further. It's on page 300.
Papa! The Wells Fargo wagon is just coming up from the depot!
The Wells Fargo wagon at this hour of the day? Nonsense.
It could be the band instrument.
The band instrument?
Oh, the Wells Fargo wagon is coming down the street. Oh, please let it be for me. Oh, the Wells Fargo wagon is coming down the street. I wish I knew what it could be.
I got a couple pieces on my birthday.
And once I got some great river jumpers.
The reward sent me about the van across the sun.
Oh, the Wells Fargo wagon is coming down the street. Oh, prepaid supplies are COD.
It could be curtain or dishes. Or it could be.
Yes, it could be. Yes, you're right. It surely could be. Something very, very special now. Oh, the Wells Fargo wagon is coming down the street. Oh, don't let it pass my door. Oh, the Wells Fargo wagon is coming down the street. I wish I knew what he was coming for.
I got some salmon from Seattle last September.
And I expect a new rocking chair. I hope I get my ratings from Fresno.
The DAR has sent a cannon for the courthouse square.
Oh, the Wells Fargo wagon is coming now. I don't know how I can ever wait to see. It could be something for someone who is not related, but it could be.
Yes, it could be. Yes, you're right. It surely could be.
Something special.
Something very, very special now.
Just for me.
Wells Fargo wagon, keep it coming. Oh, you Wells Fargo wagon, keep it coming. Oh, you Wells Fargo wagon, don't you dare to make a stop until you stop for me.
Here you are, Winthrop.
Hey, thank you, Professor.
Children, you will each receive instruction in due course. In the meantime, stay off the streets, get acquainted with your instruments, and start thinking about the minuet in G. La-di-da-di-da-di-da-di-da. La-di-da. La-di-da.
Sister, isn't this the most scrumptious thing you ever saw? I never thought I'd eat anything so scrumptious as this gold thing. Oh, sister.
Round one for you, Mr. Hill. But I better hear some by God tooting out of them horns in pretty short order, or I'll see you in front of the grand jury over the county seat. Now, Miss Marian, about that book.
Come, George. Tempest Fusion.
You want your phraseology? Get along if you want to. I have to talk to the librarian. Now, about that
ladies' dance committee meets Tuesday nights.
Anything but fussy. But a woman who waits till third time around, head in the clouds, feet on the ground. She's the girl you're glad you found. She's your shaboopy, 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 shaboopy.
The girl is hard to get.
Shaboopy, shaboopy, shaboopy.
But you can't win her yet.
Walk around once, raise the curtain, walk around twice, to make certain. Once more with the flower garden, she'll never get sore. Beg her pardon. Squeeze her once when she isn't looking. Get a squeeze back that's fancy cooking. Once more for a pap rub. She'll never get sore on her way to supper.
Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, si, do, si, do.
And a little old down the road girl, and anyone can see. Look at her now, she's a go-gal. Who only goes for big squeeze her once when she isn't looking. Get a squeeze back that's fancy cooking. Once more for a pap rub. She'll never get sore on her way to supper.
Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, si, do, si, do.
Ship-boopy, ship-boopy, ship-boopy.
The girl is hard to get.
Ship-boopy, ship-boopy, ship-boopy.
But you can't win her yet.
Hey, Professor, show us the move!
Shaboopy, shaboopy, shaboopy. That girl is hard to get. Shaboopy, shaboopy, shaboopy. But you can win her yet. You can win her yet. Shaboopy!
Get your hands off my daughter!
Papa!
Mr. Shin, Your Honor, your daughter and I are going to stay behind your back.
Why, you?
Well, we'd rather do in front of you, but...
Do what? Oh, never mind.
Zanita's scared, but I'm not. I should hate to think your own daughter's afraid of you. Julie Clyde.
I'm gonna warn you one more time. You keep your hands off my oldest girl, or you'll hear from me till who laid the rails. You know what I see written all over you? 3, 4... Form school! Now get out, you wild kid!
Papa, please. It's capulets like you that make blood in the marketplace. You good!
You watch your phraseology, young woman. Go home. You lady, tend to your dads.
My dad!
Mr. Mayor, if I could just make you understand,
Well, you can't. And by the way, thanks for nothing. I read that book you gave me from cover to cover and didn't find a thing.
Mr. Mayor, if you
Oh,
please.
and I'll settle your hash as soon as I get these premises off of my oldest girl. Yes.
All right, but in the meantime, I want you to know I'm vouching for Tommy Dillis. That boy has the confidence of every kid in this town, and you'll be standing in line, waiting to shake his hand by the time our band plays its first concert.
By time your band plays its first concert, the individual members will have to foregather in wheelchairs on account of the broken shins they'll receive from tripping over their beards. You know what I see written all over you? You wild, feathered... You feathered young... Never mind! Oliver, Ewart, J.C., Olin! I want this man's credentials, and I want them tonight!
Do you mean you want to get his credentials?
Get his papers or get him in jail. I couldn't make myself any clearer if I was a button hook in the whale water.
Professor Hill, I think that Mayor Shin has behaved
A man can't dodge an issue every time a little personal risk is involved. What does the poet say? A coward dies 1,000 deaths. The brave man only 500. Unfortunately, of course, the mayor already was pretty bad on account of his billiard parlor. Oh, I suppose a reference from the local musical authorities such as yourself would help, but I couldn't ask you to do a thing like that.
Why, Professor Hill.
You would?
I'd be glad to. I just wish I was a little more informed. I've been meaning to talk to you about Winthrop's cornet.
Ah, his cornet. Mother of pearl keys.
Oh, I'm sure it's fine. But you see, he never touches it. Oh, the first week or so, he made a few experimental, blats, I guess you'd say.
Ah, yes. Blats.
Oh, and he sings the minuet in G-D-da almost constantly. But he never touches the cornet.
Well,
he says you told him it wasn't necessary. He tells me about some think system. If he thinks the minuet in G, he won't have to bother with the notes. Now, Professor...
Miss Marian, I'll admit, the think system is a revolutionary new method. But then again, so was Galileo's conception of the heavens. Columbus's conception of the egg. Globe. Bach's conception of the well-tempered clavichord. Now, I cannot discuss these things in public. But if you'll allow me to call... When may I call?
Why, any night this week.
Professor, but we got our orders.
We'll been deputized.
Ah, yes. Congratulations. You know, all this week I've tried to give you fellows my credentials, and every time you seem to get off the subject somehow. Now, I have just what you want up in my hotel room. Take me a second.
Sorry, I'm afraid I'm gonna have to go with you.
Yes, well, let's see if I have my key. Oh, what's this? A testimonial from Madame Rennie, the only female bassoon player ever to appear on the Red Path circuit. Her stage name, of course. Actually, she was from Moline. Lyda Rose Quackenbush.
Let me see that.
Oh, no, you'll never forget the name. Same as the old song. Lyda Rose. Lyda Rose, I'm home again, Rose. To get the sun back in the sky. Lyda Rose, I'm home again, Rose, about 1,000 kisses shy. Ding dong ding, I can hear the chapel bell chime. Ding dong ding, at the least suggestion, I'll pop the question. Lyda Rose, I'm home again, Rose, without a sweetheart to my name. Lyda Rose, now everyone knows that I am hoping you're the same. So here is my love song, not fancy or fine.
let it come out.
Now, Mama.
Now, nothing. If he ever comes calling again and you happen to see him alone, and if you haven't the gumption to open your mouth and tell him how you
Tell
feel,
him?
well, there's nothing wrong with a lady like him.
Mama, Mama, Mama!
Winthrop, where have you been?
Fishing.
Fishing?
With Harold.
You mean Professor Hill?
Mm-hmm. And look, I still have some worms left.
Did you have a good time?
Scrumpet. He told me all about his hometown, Gary, Indiana, and he taught me a song about it with hardly any F's in it. Gary, Indiana, Gary, Indiana, Gary, Indiana, let me say it once again. Gary, Indiana, Gary, Indiana, Gary, Indiana, that's the town that knew me when. If you like to have a logical explanation, how I have been on this elegant syncopation, I will say without a moment of hesitation, there is just one place that can light my face. Gary, Indiana, not Louisiana, Paris, France, New York, or Rome. But Gary, Indiana, my home sweet home. If you like to have a logical explanation, how I have been on this elegant syncopation, I will say without a moment of hesitation, there's just one place that can light my face. Gary, Indiana, not Louisiana, Paris, France, New York, or Rome. But Gary, Indiana, my home sweet home. I'll be right back. I gotta show Amaryllis my live frog. La-di-da-di-da-di-da. La-di-da. La-di-da.
Well, leave the dishes, Mama. I'll do them.
But don't you have to get ready for the sociable?
There's time later.
Shins live around here somewhere.
Oh, the Shin home is on East Elm. This is West Elm.
Ah, criminy. Oh. Say, I can see you're the piano teacher in town. You must know all about this fella, Hill, forming a boys band here.
Yes?
Well, you needn't worry anymore. I got the goods on him in spades, that swindling two-bit thimble rigger. That's why I gotta see shit. I'm just passing through. Number 8 only makes a 15-minute water stop. Sure wish it was 20. I'd like to concentrate 5 on you, girly girl.
Who are you?
Name's Charlie Cow, and Bill Salesman. But just now, I'm out to protect the good name of the traveling fraternity from that swindler.
Mr. Cowell, you're making a big mistake.
Mistake? My old lady's corset cover. That fella's been the raspberry seed in my wisdom tooth just long enough. Spoiled Illinois for me, and he ain't gonna spoil Iowa. Say, what kind of music teacher are you anyways? Didn't see right through him? He's no more professor.
Well, I know all about that. Band leaders are always called professor. It's a harmless deception. He's a fine director, and his scholastic
Wait a minute. Fine director. Have you heard one note of music from any band?
No, but
But nothing, girly girl. He's never formed a band in his life, and he never will.
if you'll just listen to me for a minute, then
I'd like to. I'd like to do more than that. I've got the inclination. But I gotta get back on that train, and I gotta deliver this dynamite with somebody down at the depot. Bye, girly girl. See you next time through.
Oh, you'll never make the train to the depot. You'll have to catch it at Crossing.
No, sir. I gotta leave word. And I can see you're not the one to leave it with.
Well, just a minute, Mr. Cowell. You don't know me yet.
Is that an invitation?
No. What I mean to say is that I don't know
Yes.
you, and...
I need more time anyways.
Oh, I mean as well I'd like to.
No trouble there, girly girl.
I've never met a man who sells anvils before. That's something, well, quite different.
It takes quite a salesman, I can assure you of that. Anvils have a limited appeal. Oh, what am I doing? I missed that train and I'll get fired. And I gotta leave word about Hill.
Leave word with me.
Not on your tintype. How can I be sure you'll deliver these letters?
Try me. There's your train now. Run for it.
Why, you double-dealing little... Ah, who do you think you're protecting? That guy's got a girl in every county in Illinois. And that's 102 counties, not including the piano teachers like you that he cozies up to keep their mouth shut. Neither one of you heard the last of me. Girly girl.
I'll pop the question. Light a rose, I'm home again. Rose without a sweetheart to my name. Good evening, Miss Marian. Light a rose now, everyone knows that I am hoping you're the same. So here is my love song, not fancy or fine. Light a rose, oh, oh.
Marian! Marian! Marian, dear? Who was you talking to just now? Why, Professor Hill! Why don't you and Marian come on up and sit? I've got some jelly on the stove.
There's no jelly on the stove, Mama.
Well, I'll put some on.
Shall we set, as your mother said?
Well, I don't...
You did ask me to call.
Did I? I didn't mean anything by it.
Oh, Miss Marian, I'm not suggesting your invitation inferred anything but academic enlightenment. The think system? I've been by your house a time or two to try to explain it to you, but there always seem to be people around. Mostly ladies, I thought.
Yes, Mrs. Squires and several of the ladies.
I'm glad. Wouldn't want anybody beating my time. You wouldn't. No, ma'am. Well, evidently it's not the convenient night. See you at the sociable later.
Professor Hill,
Yes?
is it true that you've had 100... what I'm trying to say is it really true that you've developed a think system?
A what? A think system? Oh, a think system, yes. It's really very simple. As simple as whistling. Nobody has to show you how to use your lips in whistling. You just think the tune here, and it comes out clearly here. Now, why don't you try this out yourself before you ask any questions?
I take your word.
Could we sit down?
Are all music teachers as dense as I am?
All music teachers?
Well, I dare say you meet dozens.
Well,
Even 100. Have they all been as fascinated as I have with the think system?
some more, some less. One young lady had thought up the same system before I got to her town. She showed me a few refinements.
I see.
Have I said something wrong?
Please don't let me keep you, Professor Hill. You must have many more important things to do than explain the think system to me.
Can't think of one.
But I must be very dull company for a man of your experience.
Now say, where'd you get an idea like that?
One hears rumors of traveling salesmen.
Oh, Miss Marian, you mustn't believe everything you hear. After all, one hears rumors about librarians.
I suppose you're referring to Uncle Matty.
Uncle Matty?
Mr. Madison, my father's best friend. No matter what they say, he left me an assured job so that Mother and Winthrop and I would have some security. Oh, but surely you don't believe that.
Oh, of course not. But that's exactly what I'm saying. And why do you think people start these rumors?
Well, narrow-mindedness, jealousy. Jealousy mostly, I guess.
Exactly. Jealousy mostly starts rumors about traveling salesmen. What have you heard?
Oh, nothing about you personally. Just generally.
What have you heard generally?
Oh, just that, but of course it stands to reason that the disappointment and jealousy can lead to, Well, we'll take you, for instance. Your attentions to customers and well, teachers, might easily be misinterpreted, mightn't they? Oh, no, honestly, mightn't they?
Why, yes.
And so you say, if another salesman or somebody were jealous, why, they could be downright lies, couldn't they?
What could?
Rumors and things.
Of course.
It just goes to show you should never believe everything you hear. I mean, if you discuss things...
Miss Marian, I'd be glad to discuss anything in the world with you. But could we do it sitting down? You do sit, don't you? Your knees bend and all.
Oh, we could sit on the porch step.
We could sit on a large hollow log over the footbridge.
Oh, I couldn't think of it. I've never been to the footbridge with a man in my life.
Just to talk.
I've got to get ready for the sociable.
Then meet me at the footbridge in 15 minutes.
Oh, I just can't. Some other time, please. Maybe tomorrow.
My dear little librarian. Pile up enough tomorrows, and you'll find you've collected nothing but a lot of empty yesterdays. I don't know about you, but I like to make today worth remembering.
So would I.
Then meet me at the footbridge. 15 minutes.
15 minutes? Mama! Mama?
What?
What? I just told Professor Hill I'd meet him at the footbridge in 15 minutes.
Glory be and the saints be praised! It works!
What does?
Well, the thing system. I've been using it on you from the parlor.
uniforms have arrived. Kids are in them already. The people are going to be screaming for the music if those kids show up at the sociable.
Yeah?
Here's most of the dough. I got Tommy to collect it. He's holding the kids together at least. He's pretending to have a band practice over at the old lumber yard.
All right, Marsh, get the rig.
I got it.
What time's the freight go?
9:40 from the junction.
Well, it's not even 8:30
Hey,
yet.
listen, you want to turtle-wurtle around here and get yourself caught in a bunny trap, you go ahead, but I'm telling you...
Hey. I'll meet you at the hotels in plenty of time, Marsh. Now beat it. Go get the rig. Miss Marian. You're late.
But you said 15 minutes.
Oh, I meant you were about, well, I'd say 26 years late. Took you all this time to get to the footbridge with a fella.
If you want to know the truth, it was almost longer.
Oh?
Halfway here, I nearly turned back. I suppose I'm not the first to find it easier to think clearly when not under the spell of your salesmanship.
Oh, Miss Marian, I hope you don't think I've been trying to sell you anything.
No! You've given me something. That's why I decided to come.
I don't recall giving any.
Oh, yes, you have. Something beautiful. That's why I came. I'm glad. Please don't be afraid that I expect too much more of you. One can't expect a traveling salesman to stay put. I know there have been many ports of call, and there will be many more. But that's no reason for me not to be grateful for what you will have left behind for me.
Oh, Miss Marian, I don't know what to say.
There were bells on the hill, but I never heard them ringing. Oh, I never heard them at all,
There's a lot of things you don't know about me.
Greg!
Excuse me, I'm expecting a cable from Hector Berlioz. This could be it. What now?
Who's the salesman here? Sounds like she's selling and you're buying.
Are you nuts? I didn't know I was going to be able to leave tonight. Besides, I had to keep her off balance, didn't
Well,
I?
she's so off balance you can't tell her from a catboat in a hurricane.
Listen, Buster Brown, I came up through the ranks on this skirmish, and I'm not resigning without my commission.
But Greg, you can't get anywhere out on the footbridge.
There's a place over at Madison Park makes this footbridge look like an old lady's home. Now beat it. Go get the rent. Never a peaceful moment in the music business. Now then, where were we?
You were about to tell me what I don't know about you?
Yeah. Well, we don't have to get into that just now, do we?
No. Or ever, for that matter, Harold. The librarian hasn't felt much like doing research lately, but she did plenty when you first came here.
Oh? About what?
About Professor Harold Hill, Gary, Indiana Conservatory of Music, gold medal class of '05. Harold, there wasn't any Gary Conservatory in '05.
Well, there certainly was.
Because the town wasn't even built until '06. I'll see you at the sociable.
What, you knew all the time?
Since July 7th, 3 days after you came. I tore this page out of the Indiana Journal. It was originally intended to use against you, but now I give it to you, with all my heart.
But if you knew, why didn't you? Why, you little... Well, 110 cornets played the air. Then I modestly took my place as the one and only bass, and I oomped up and down the square.
Good night, my someone. Good night, my love.
With 110 cornets right behind.
Our star is shining, its brightest light.
There were horns of every shape and sweet dreams be yours, dear, if dreams there be.
While 110 cornets play the air.
I wish I may, and I wish I might. Now good night, my someone. Good night.
Greg! Greg, this guy's crazy. He's running all over town, spilling everything.
What is...
Crazy? I'll say I'm crazy. I missed my train. Probably lost my job. But I got you now, Hill. You'll pay. You'd be in the clique right now hadn't it been for the piano teacher. I told her all about you. And what does she do? She lillygags me. Yeah, and I can't get my train. The no good, dried up, man-hungry, doxy, round-heeled, big...
Hey, Black! Get out of here or I'll kill you, you dirty mouth,
You
no
big
good...
bully! You big blow-on! Y'all stay in this town until you get yourself down, through, and sideways. Oh, you never even knew the territory.
Greg, here's your stuff. The rig's in the alley. Come on, hurry.
see you, Marian.
Don't you know it's all right? You don't owe me a word, not a word. Please go, Harold, hurry.
He isn't anywhere around here. Let's check down by the creek.
Winthrop!
Wait a minute here, son.
I'm not your son. Leave me go.
Not till I talk to you for a minute.
I won't listen. You wouldn't tell me the truth anyway.
I would too.
Would not.
Would too. Tell you anything you want to know.
Can you lead a band?
No.
Are you a big fat liar?
Yes.
Are you a dirty rotten crook?
Yes.
Leave me go, you big fat liar!
Well, now wait a minute here, son. I'm bigger than you, I'm stronger than you, and you're gonna get it all, so you might as well stand there and quit wiggling. There are two things you're entitled to know. One, you're a wonderful kid. I thought so from the first. That's why I wanted you in the band. So you'd stop moping around, feeling sorry for yourself.
What band?
I always think there's a band, kid.
What's the other thing I'm entitled to know?
Well, the other thing is none of your business, now that I come to think of it.
I wish you'd never come to River City.
No, you don't, Winthrop.
But he promised us.
I know what he promised us. And it all happened just like you said. The lights, and the flags, and the colors, and the symbols.
Where was all that?
The way every kid in this town walked around here all summer. And looked, and acted. Especially you, Winthrop. And the parents, too. Does Mama wish he'd never come to River City?
You do, don't you?
No, Winthrop. Now please go, Harold.
Go on, Professor. Hurry.
I can't go, Winthrop.
Why?
The first time in my life, I got my foot caught in the door. There was love all around, but I never heard it singing. No, I never heard it at all. Till there was you.
Hey, right there, here! That way! That way!
Which is why I interrupted the program at this point. Rest assured, this snake in our bosom would have been misapprehended by this time. And remember, fellow river citizens, I can only remind you that I did everything in my power to prevent this dire happening from happening. Fourscore.
Why didn't you guys get our money back?
That professor's collected nearly $300 in uniforms. Just like that.
And we haven't even seen them uniforms yet.
He's slippery. I told you.
I haven't seen any uniforms or my boy since supper. He is a kidnapper.
He's a fine
Fourscore. Virtue has triumphed. The sword of retribution has cut down. Professor Harold Hill. And if there are those, as I have heard, that are melting tar and collecting feathers, I will not say their name.
Well, I should think there ought to be some of you who can forget our everlasting Iowa stubborn chip on the shoulder arrogance long enough to remember River City before Harold Hill arrived. Well, do you remember? Well, do you? I should think some of you ought to be grateful for what he's brought to us. And if so, I should think you'd want to admit it.
You're wasting a great deal of time here. If there is anyone who does not want to see Professor Harold Hill tarred and feathered, let them stand up. Uh-huh.
Wait,
forgotten about the high-priced band uniforms, the technical instruction books, or the expensive band instruments? Have you people forgotten the clear understanding and warranty that your child would learn to play in a band? Well, where's the band? Where's the band?
Think, men, think.